Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of your favorite program on cable TV all over the nation, Education Exchange. I would like to welcome our friends and distinguished guests from Northwest Junior High School, starting with Mr. Kanan, Fatima, and Gabby, three leaders of diversity leadership group, and with them is their teacher, the well-known Iowa City personality and artist Renee Zukin, and to my right side is the big leader of the school, Elizabeth Bruening, the principal of Northwest Junior High School. I would like to welcome you on behalf of our team here, Public Access TV, as well as City Channel Cable 4. We have Mr. John Karhoff is, as a matter of fact, the father of this show 30 years ago, 29 years ago. And with him is Mr. Michael Peterson, who is the guy running, as you see, the floor director here. And we have a very talented young camera woman today, or lady, or young lady. As a matter of fact, we treat her as an adult, Addison Prantner. And Addison Prantner has been volunteering to help with our camera for many, many episodes of Education Exchange. Having said all that, I would like to thank everybody in the team here, and Mr. Gerardo Sandoval and Sujat Singh from Public Access TV. Now, let's start with the principal.
Thank you for having us today.
I would like you to tell me, why did you select this teacher and those leaders?
So Ms. Zukin and these students are integral in the diversity leadership group that we have at Northwest called ROLO. And they've done some really outstanding things in the past few months. They created a toy drive for DVIP and were able to bring in a lot of toys for that program.
Let us tell our audience what DVIP.
The Domestic Violence Intervention Program here in Iowa City. They also, this summer, did some really cool things. They had a summer program, and they are connecting with other people in our community to bring in some great speakers for the students, connections in different parts of the community, in the arts and the music, things that students are very interested in, to help show them different opportunities that they have in the future.
Super. And Renee, I will call you Renee, of course.
Yes.
They will call you Mrs. Zukin, right?
Yes.
So Renee, tell me now about the efforts you're doing with the kids and how you prepare them to be leaders in the diversity leadership group.
Okay. Well, the group started about 3 years ago. A couple of staff members and I decided to put together a group. We noticed that we love the diversity of our school, and we wanted to make sure that our leaders were being represented in multiple ways, and to give them an opportunity to do so, and to give them opportunities that students might not be getting, more access to music and access to sports and access to writing, all sorts of programs.
And what subject matter you teach?
I'm a literacy teacher, so reading is my focus, and then I also teach leadership for the 8th grade this year.
Let us move to one of the leaders. Which one you would select?
Would I select first? Let's go with Kanan.
Okay, let's Kanan. Okay, Kanan, tell me exactly what you do in this group. Tell me some of the activities that you do. What do you do?
In ROLO, we talk about like different...
What's a ROLO, by the way?
Respect, ownership, leadership, and opportunity.
And opportunity, okay.
And in ROLO, we talk about like different struggles that's happened in Iowa, and we like have fundraisers to make money and toys and stuff.
Great. And next is who?
Let's go with Fatima.
Okay. Fatima, Ali, go ahead.
So we try to give people things that they don't have like in our toy drive, we try to raise toys for the kids that are struggling and they don't have any Christmas toys to give to their kids, so we try to make it possible for them to have stuff too.
Can I ask you, how do you select the kids that you give them these gifts or presents?
So we gave it to the DVIP, domestic violence intervention program.
Okay.
We gave it to them because they're a group that try like organizing things. So they're gonna open a shop for the parents to come and shop for their Christmas toys for their kids, but the toys in the shop are gonna be free.
That's a very noble cause, definitely. And Gabby now?
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Basically, we just focus on helping others who don't have as much as us, and like just trying to, basically just trying to help and like guide others, I want to say. But
Guiding,
not
yeah, very good.
specifically.
Mhm.
So that's exactly the role of the leader, is to guide, right?
Right.
And I heard rumors that you are a singer too, just like your teacher. She's a very famous Iowa City singer, right? Right?
They don't know that about me.
They don't know this about
Well,
you.
if they Google me, they might know.
So we are increasing your clients now. This is unpaid propaganda for you.
That's right.
Advertising.
Yeah, thanks for the marketing.
So you can hire Education Exchange as your public
As
relations.
Perfect.
I will go back to you. Are there certain criteria you see in a kid to be nominated for this group?
So we try to encourage any student who is interested to be able to participate. The club is held after school. And so any student who can come, we allow them to come in and be a part of the group. Certain types of activities, there might be different types of requirements. So for example, maybe something that they're doing in the summer program or a field trip. There may be certain requirements for the things that they have to turn in or things that they have to do in order to be able to participate in those things. But generally, we want to encourage as many students to participate as possible. And so sometimes having the club after school might make that difficult with transportation, but we try to do our best to help support that as much as we can, so get as many students involved as possible.
And you get cooperation from parents regarding that?
Yes,
I mean,
parents, I think parents are
support-
excited about this program and happy to have their children participating.
Great. Renee, now tell me about the, I would like to know how many.
How many students?
Yeah, do
So
you have?
this year, I think we've got about 12 to 15 on any given day. We certainly have like 6 to 8 that come regularly. In past years, we held it during the school day, during our Viking time, which is the academic focus time. And that we had upwards of 25 to 30 kids. So trying to work around ways to get as many students involved as possible. And like Ms. Bruening was saying too, sometimes we have special events. We run programs in the summer. Or last spring we had a couple of students who got to earn some time to visit a recording studio with an artist up in Cedar Rapids, which was pretty incredible. And that was a special case where some of our students who were kind of not making some very good choices had the opportunity to kind of turn things around, and they earned this pretty big experience, and it was really a lot of fun.
Well, in an activity such as this one, I wonder about the ratio between the gender ratio, like males and females, because I know at this age group, males tend to deviate towards sports,
Sure.
and females towards the arts, music, and so forth.
Yeah, yeah.
So this particular activity, if you give me an idea about this.
Well, so this year I think we have more girls participating than boys, but it's maybe 2/3 to 1/3. Last year it was actually the other way around. We had a lot more boys
So
involved. than
it
girls.
is kind of,
Yeah.
but it's not like stereotypical like the other
don't think so.
activities.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the activities we try and focus on are, we have speakers come in who are professional sports or business owners or artists, and we just try to get a wide range of people in our community who are mentors to come in, talk to students, show them, what kinds of possibilities there are for their futures. And so I think it appeals to a wide variety.
Super. Can you tell me how other teachers support you in this activity? I mean, I imagine that because you do something extra, you may not be doing the homework on time sometimes because you are busy doing something, or you are busy, have a project or something like that. Especially now you are doing the toy thing, It takes time to do that. And the teacher would say, well, you didn't do that, and say, well, I was busy doing this. And do you see teachers supporting you, or you want to see them supporting more?
Yes, I do.
They are.
Yes.
So there is an understanding from other faculty or other teachers of what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does this apply to you too, Fatima and Gabby? You
Yeah.
see teachers supporting?
I think they support us because about the toy drive, some teachers came to donate to us.
Oh,
We also celebrated the success that they had in their toy drive with an all-school assembly. And the ROLO group brought in some speakers, national DJs, to share their stories of how they grew up in this area and were able to make it big in the music business. And so they shared that, and the whole school was a part of that and celebrated the success that this group did and showed the support for the work that they're doing.
Renee, this is, of course, a kind of cliche question, but I must ask you, I mean, how do you prepare the curriculum for this? I mean, this is part of your responsibility,
Yeah.
and do you suggest some books they can read, some programs they look at, some movies? What
Yeah. I mean, and creating the curriculum for the club just kind of it just kind of pieced things together. But a lot of it honestly comes with my networking with people in the community and when I talk to others in the community and how they want to help students. I just sort of make that happen. You had mentioned, books and movies and such, and we've talked about The Hate U Give and watched the trailer for that and kind of talked about, the politics behind that and issues occurring with Black Lives Matter and how, reading the book or watching the movie and having those kinds of discussions are really important for our community. But it's just kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
No, I think you are right, because there are a lot of things happening in the community, and you have to be reactive to, or sometimes proactive, anticipating things to happen, and that's a challenge.
Yes.
Because you don't have 1, 2, 3 lesson plan. This is what we have to do.
Right.
Sometimes happen in Pennsylvania, for instance.
Right.
And, we need to discuss that right now.
Yep. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think students sometimes come with questions or they want to talk about something, and because of the flexibility of the program, that Ms. Zukin is able to run with that and take whatever ideas that they come up with or things they're interested to share and talk about and make that a part of their discussion that day.
And I want to ask our 3 leaders here, is there any problems you see talking to other kids about diversity? And I want you to answer me with full honesty. Yes, go ahead.
I don't think there's any problems because when we talk to people about it, they support us for it.
Okay. So most of the kids in your grade or in your school are understanding your role, right? Nobody makes jokes about it or anything at all.
No.
Okay. Is that the same, you have the same opinion, Gabby?
Well, like if we talk to them about like diversity and whatnot, they'll like mostly agree, but like sometimes it's just some people who don't agree and they just have
Stay away.
negative comments and
Yeah,
stuff.
they
Yeah.
have opinions.
Well, as long as they stay away from your path, that's fine. Now, if they don't stay away and start to be a little bit aggressive or something, then the teacher would interfere, definitely. But if they have their opinion and they don't want to change, fine, as long as you stay away from me. But it's very good, because I know that it is not easy sometimes, especially at the junior high level, that you talk to your peers about things. Parents sometimes have problems talking to their junior high kids about things. It's normal. At this age group, people don't like to be told what to do or how to behave. So that's why I see your leadership challenging, even though that you, most of you, I mean 2/3, agreed that everybody is fine, you know. So let us move on to something else that's very important. How do you foresee the future of this group?
I think this group has the potential to grow and become even stronger leaders and maybe carry on some of these ideas and work into the high school when they go to high school in the future, in the next few years. I think that they've brought up and started something really cool here that will continue for many years. I think this is a strong program that has a lot of students who are very involved, and they will continue to be that way. And Ms. Zukin is a fantastic leader for this program, and she's got so many great connections that really helps to
In the community
to energize the program too. So students who are interested in anything, they come in and they can be a part of that.
You are using her popularity.
Yes, exactly right. She doesn't mind.
Yeah. So, how you do you agree with me that this is a very good start for a great future for them?
I sure
right?
hope so, yeah.
And they may forget some biology things, they may forget some chemistry things, but they will always remember the role as leaders in the community. And that's what remain with them, right?
Yes, yeah.
So how do you see them in the future? Those three only. I mean, I mean, as teachers, we look at our kids and say, "Oh, you are going to be a good leader."
Well, the thing that I value the most, especially about these three, is that they are. I'm like going to get choked up now.
Yeah.
They're extremely compassionate, and they're vibrant, and they have so much energy to give to others and those around them, and to be good leaders, you know, is more than just telling other people what to do. In fact, that's probably the last trait a person needs. And they work very well together, and they're creative, and they have such wonderful ideas.
So they act by example. They show others how they should be here, rather than directly tell them what to do.
Right, right.
Great. So now, how much time do I have now? About 5, 6 minutes? About 7 minutes. So let us talk about your dreams about the future. How do you see yourself in the future?
I think in the future, I could be like a leader in like a community, like make groups about like different stuff that happens in Iowa, like talk about stuff, like.
So you still want to pursue what you have learned at Northwest Junior High in the future too, even as an adult, right? And after graduation, you want to play a leadership role. And does this mean that you can be a candidate for Congress or Senate? Yeah, you want to do that. Oh, super. You see, that's a great thing. How about Fatima?
When I grow up, I want to be a pediatrician.
Again, working with needy kids. Yeah, that's beautiful. Gabby?
Well, if I do become famous.
Don't say if, you say when. Yeah.
When I become famous.
Yes, I like that.
I want to become like a singer or actor, and that makes you like a role model to so many people, so you can make like a good impression on the people who look up to you.
That's why probably we see some of the social activists. A lot of them are actors and actresses and singers, and they can carry the message so easily to the people, to the audience, because the audience, they admire them and they believe that they are trustable and they can follow them. Now, when it comes to you, Renee,
Yes.
I want to know, how do you see your future in education?
It's a big question. It's a very big question. You know, my heart is really in a program like this, and I would love to be able to expand it. We have some great programs at all our secondary high schools, Psyched at West and Liberty and Rise over at City High, and they're implementing those same sorts of things at the other junior highs, which I think is, you know, we're all doing, you know, good work, and we might try and actually combine some of that work.
Well, the reason I'm asking you this question, because I know you have been a teacher before.
Yes.
And you changed career for a little bit.
Yes.
A couple of years. And then you became a teacher again.
Yes.
So you came back home.
I did. That is a very accurate statement. Yes. What's the question?
The question is, are you going to continue as classroom teacher, or are you looking forward to more leadership?
Well, my boss is sitting
I would
right
like to
here.
know the answer as well.
Well, your boss will be superintendent.
Right.
So.
No, well, I mean, that is a great question, actually.
Yeah.
Being back in the classroom has been so uplifting and so really just affirming in the value that I think our young people have, and really supporting that value. And so I love being in the classroom. I also really love doing this kind of stuff and connecting students and families and communities. So there's a piece of that, that maybe after I retire, I'll still be doing something
After
where I get to.
40 years, you mean?
Yeah. Who knows? Possibilities are wide open.
And you have kids, right?
I do.
And
yes.
your kids graduated, all of them?
Not all of them. I still have, my youngest is now at Northwest, actually.
At Northwest.
So yeah, they're all secondary
so
or post-secondary.
Tell me about this experience, because I know that your associate principal has his daughter too, in the same school.
Yes.
That's a very interesting experience.
It
so
is.
when you go home and you sit around the kitchen table,
Yeah.
do they treat you as mommy or
Yes,
Mrs.
I'm still
Zukin?
definitely mom. No.
Okay.
No, there's a pretty good separation
So
in the
that-
school
okay.
day. I don't actually see my kids during the school day, and even when Evan was there too. I
And
didn't.
do you agree about everything?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Oh no.
It was very interesting talking to Mr. Gross and talking to his daughter, and I found out that he had some ideas and she totally was against
They
it.
were, yeah, they were bad.
She was leading, leading and getting signatures and all that.
Oh, right. Against her father's ideas.
Yeah. Do you enjoy your work?
I do. It's a challenge.
I
It's
know
something
you-
different every day.
You tell our, I know your history, of course. I know your leadership at Chemic before and that. But give our audience a little bit background of how did you end up being the principal of Northwest Junior High?
It's a good question. Well, I was a classroom teacher for 10 years. So I taught social studies and government, and I actually taught with Mr. Gross at West High for a few years as well. I have had a couple of years as an assistant principal in Washington, Iowa, and then I was the assistant principal at Northwest, where I first got to work with Ms. Zukin and see this program kind of start to unfold. And last year I had the opportunity to lead my own building at Shimmick, so I took that opportunity. But then I got the opportunity to come home as well, to come back to Northwest as the principal, and that wasn't something I was going to pass up.
I tell you, we are really delighted to have you, and we would like to have you again. And of course, when you move to secondary school or to the university, come back and tell us about your leadership, Gabby and Fatima and Kanan. And thank you very much for the effort you're doing, Renee. Sometimes we forget teachers when we see great results, but it's time for us, on behalf of the community, to thank you, and thank you for the great leadership.
Oh, thank you. Thanks again for having all of us.
At this note, or on this note, I will wrap it up and say good night, and thank our audience for being patient with us and attentive, and would like to see you again very soon.